All right. I don't know if I'm live or not, or what's exactly going on. Um, but there you go. There you go. So, uh,
I'm here, buddy. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Anthony. How are you?
There we go. I just had to put my iPod down because I got caught up in that Twitterverse. I saw you was going live, and you sent me a link, and here I am. I'm on my
No.
HP, so I'm going to be audio only for this evening.
Okay. Well, that's fine. We do have someone else joining us shortly here,
Is
um,
it, is it
momentarily.
DJ?
Listen, I'm
What?
not gonna. I'm not gonna ruin the sizzle. Okay.
Okay, no, don't do that.
I'm not gonna
Surprise
ruin
me.
the sizzle.
Surprise everybody else, too. Let's see what's what.
Still trying to figure out how.
Take your time.
Oh, look at that. See, can you hear me in real? You got me in real time, or are you
I'm still watching on StreamYard. I ain't put up YouTube yet.
okay? I wasn't sure. Yeah, it's. I mean, there's really no reason for you to go into YouTube unless we get trolls. Um,
Well, I need to keep an eye on that chat room. I
but
feel.
I mean, we could. Well, that's the whole thing. You can see the comments that are coming in, right? On your
Um,
end.
I'm still looking in StreamYard, so
Yeah, it's streaming. You should be able to see the comments that are coming in.
I need to go over to your
So
YouTube channel.
if you see if you can see the comments on StreamYard on your end and everything's fine, there's no reason for you to go over to YouTube.
Oh,
If,
gotcha.
if there is,
Yes, there's
and
Charlie. I
and
see Charlie.
if you do see a troll, then that still gives you whatever the different 6 seconds to get over. There's a 6 second delay or whatever, or 10 second delay, so that still gives you the time to.
Yep.
Um, okay, so we have Charlie Skywalker and Charles in here. Um, Charlie Skywalker, check your Twitter DM inbox, whatever it is.
Come on, DJ, pick it up.
Uh, no, I was just saying because I still haven't figured out how to get this camera angle to go the right way because it still does a little bit too wide. I haven't been able to fix that yet. I've been working on it, but it looks like I have my nice Guinness here in my Guinness glass,
I see that.
which we all know it's not, unfortunately.
You
Well, fortunately, unfortunately, depends on who you are.
got some Guinness in that glass, Michael.
Negative.
Oh, I hear a ringing sound. Here comes DJ. I hope. Let's see what's what.
Because I want to get a couple more people in here because I want to try, you know. Charles, if you want to come join in, feel free. Let me know. I'll send you the link. Um, we can have up to 6 people in here talking, depending on how the chat goes. I mean, there's usually only 4 or 6 people in here anyway, so it's kind of silly to have 2 or 3 of us talking and one person or 2 people typing. I
I
know
was
there's someone. I know there's someone else, not Anthony, but someone else that doesn't want to be on camera.
You ain't
So
gotta be. You ain't
no,
gotta
they
be.
they can do whatever they want. They can put up, you can put up an avatar too. I wish I could put up an avatar for you. I'd put up that picture of the farmer I found. I cracked myself up.
I just came to this here. I just came to this here laptop in the kitchen with me instead of setting up my Asus where I could stream video because this one, the camera, the camera's a bit out of sorts. Doesn't want to go and work, but it works with audio. So for for what we're doing tonight, audio Audio works for the moment.
Yeah, I got a lot going on right now. I got my 2 books coming tomorrow that I need to do a video for. I have 2 books that came last week. I still haven't done my 6 books that I got at New York Comic Con.
Oh, wow. Now you're up to 8 books. So what's your first 2 you speak of?
They're 2 Jedi Fallen Order books, and then
Okay.
Amazon made an error with something, so the Art of the Fallen Order books, which is like a deluxe complete set, won't be coming for another couple of days, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, I would like to have it to open and take a look at it,
Nah, they'll show up when they show up.
but
So what's the last 4?
those are books I got at Comic Con that I got signed.
Okay.
That I think a couple of them I already have. Some of them aren't even opened. You know how I am with my shit, but
I get it. Yep. Oh, here we go. There's DJ coming in.
Charlie, can you hear us?
Hey, what's going on?
There he is. Hey, buddy.
So
Sounds
get
like you're
this all
driving,
set up
DJ. You driving?
Yeah, we're driving home. Driving home
Alrighty.
after picking up the kids.
Be careful. Take your time.
The wife's driving. I'm riding shotgun.
Attaboy. Oh, co-pilot. Alrighty.
all right, so we're going to do things a little bit different than normal. So, all right, I guess we'll just I'll edit that other. Well, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, it matters. Where you want to go, Michael? What do you want to talk about?
I was gonna. So on the last live stream we were on, Andrew brought up about the book that he had, and I knew that I had that book. And I went to while I was talking, I went to my bookcase and looked for it, and I couldn't find it. And I realized, like half the shit I have, it's still in boxes that haven't been opened and unboxed. And luckily, I was able to go into my secret hiding spot that I have a lot of my shit hidden, and peek right in and see that this is the box.
All right, gotcha.
I opened it up really quick. It's still somewhat taped. And this is the visual dictionary from
the newly updated one. Yeah, buddy.
from before last Christmas.
Oh, that's good looking.
That he was talking about. And I still have it in a box unopened and haven't gone through it because, I mean, you guys that have been here before have seen I have 20 books underneath my bookcase that I've opened up, but a lot of them they're just opened. I haven't shown the world. But like he was saying about C-3PO, I thought it was common knowledge that Anakin didn't build him from scratch, that he found parts and he had the main chassis or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah, that sounds about
him,
right.
and he built them from parts that he had. That's why when he turns them on, Anakin turns them on in front of Padme to impress her, to show you, hey, look at what I can do. Look at this droid I built. I built this droid to help my mom, whatever it was.
Yep. Just like that.
He's missing an eye. He puts his eye on him, and he's like, oh, hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? Because he's still at his last program from what he was at. He hadn't already started to be programmed. That's why he wasn't saying hello to Anakin and hello to Padme and R2-D2. He was saying hello because that was the last memory or function he had in him, was saying hello to whoever his last master was or group of people. That's why after he said that, he says, hi, I'm C-3PO. I'm, human relations, blah, blah, blah. whatever he then says, I don't really remember the rest of the movie. Well, not the but that part specifically, because he's introducing himself. It's the first time Anakin's ever turned him on. Anakin wasn't surprised that he turned on and was working because Anakin knows what he can do and how great he is of a mechanic or whatever you want to call it. I mean, that was always my impression of.
Well, didn't they say in the novelization that 3PO came from Watto's shop, that he just gathered the pieces from there and just reassembled him? I thought that was in the novelization.
I want to go and agree with DJ right there. It's been many a year since I listened to that novelization because I listen on audiobooks, but I think DJ's on point right there. Yeah, he come from Watto's junk shop.
Yeah. That I don't remember. You probably remember more than me. It's one of those things where all I do now is consume Star Wars and Star Wars trivia and knowledge that I probably forget. And I'm not saying you people, but I probably forget more Star Wars knowledge than most people ever know.
And you and me both do it by way of audio.
Yep. Which
yep.
Depending on how you learn, but that's another thing I want to talk about is audiobooks. But so
let's do that.
Also
want to give a momentary shout out to the chat room because I see Mr. Rez is in there, and I'm missing somebody else. Who else
Chris
is in
King.
there? Chris, yeah, Chris. Howdy, Rez. Howdy, Chris. Chat along, boys. Let's talk.
If either one of you or both of you or all of you want to join into the chat, go ahead and do it.
Yep, hit Michael up. He'll send you the link.
Just let me know.
Yep.
And I'll send you the link, and then you can talk with. That's the great thing when I found this StreamYard. Somebody sent it to me, and I decided, no, I don't want to do it. I think it's not worth it. Whatever, blah blah blah. Because it's right now them starting out the free version that I'm using. I can still bring in the people. I can do whatever. I get the little StreamYard guy up in the corner, which I wish it wasn't there, but for whatever it is, $20 a month, I'm not really willing to pay that right now to get rid of it.
It serves your purpose, and we're doing just fine right now.
If they get rid of the free amount you're allowed to do, free streaming and everything, which they will in the future, because something that they have a caveat right now, there's no limit, but in the future there may be. I'm sure they will not have. Then that'll be a different story, but it's just much easier than the other way, using like OBS or another system and Skyping people in, because then I can't just send you a link and you're on. And you hit the link, you put in your name, and you're on.
Chris, I'm glad I'm not hearing Chris's background. He's trying to get his kids to bed. He says he got whiny kids in the background. I feel you, buddy. I feel you.
I need to update on is my my Star Wars books. I was looking the other day. I have the Encyclopedia of Star Wars, and it's just the original trilogy. It's a classic, but I really need to get some updated materials.
You mean that original visual guide from 1994, DJ? That the one you're talking about? We might have lost DJ.
He's on. He hit his microphone, so he's been hitting his microphone on and off. So
I got him.
But yeah, I got the encyclopedia. I'm kind of, I don't know, silly. Some of the people call it RDS. It's the Reginald Dwight syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
That's Elton John's real name, because the guy spent whatever it was, like $2 million in flowers in a year or something like that. For his house, just to make it look pretty. But I have, like I was saying, I have books from last Christmas that I haven't even opened. I just opened up one of them now, and I still have a ton more. I have the episode 1, 2, and 3 encyclopedia individual ones, and then I have the one that's all three of them together, and it's just the exact same book. There's nothing different about it. I have
that was the new one that you just put up, that you just showed on the screen.
Oh no,
on your cam.
That's a new one. That's different. I have that's the Star Wars, the complete visual dictionary, and I'm looking at the visual encyclopedia and the Star Wars dictionary, and I'm looking at like 4 different ones or 5 different ones sitting on my shelf, and they're all pretty much the same. But every time a new movie comes out, they put out a new one, and
they go and update it.
Yeah, and like I was showing you the last time with the droid ones that I got updated, they changed it a little bit, but not worth enough really to maybe go in and changing it. So yeah, so that's what this one. Yeah, now I got another book to. I got a lot of plans, and lots of ideas. I just need to, I don't need a lot of money, just a couple $1,000. A couple $1,000. Let me take the time off of work, and just make videos nonstop for a couple weeks.
Yes, so. Charles Westcott. Yeah, the boy, buddy. Borrow them from the library. You can go that way too. I was just thinking, because I had my girls this past weekend, Michael, and we went down just east of Pittsburgh to Barnes & Noble, where I was looking at, and let me know what your thoughts on this are. Are you aiming to get your hands on that cookbook from Galaxy's Edge? Because I was holding on to it, and I wanted to go and buy it, but I also entered a giveaway contest from the forcecast.net, where they're also giving that book away. So I would have felt bad if I was picking it up and I went and won it. Is that a book you're looking to add to your collection, that cookbook from Galaxy's Edge?
Possibly, but I would need 2, because I need one to go in the kitchen with my cookbooks and one to go on my Star Wars shelf. So, that's just, when it comes to a lot of that stuff, like Charles said, just go to the library. It's like giving a heroin addict, just putting the bag in their hand and saying, okay, give it back to me now, and not letting them shoot up with it. And it just kind of doesn't really do the trick. But I don't. Yeah, it's it's a lot of I want to have it. Maybe we'll open up. Maybe that will be our main thing today, is opening up some books instead of doing whatever. But you guys let me know what you want, because I still have Black Series. I still have stuff from Force Friday. I still have stuff from San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, jeez, you got things.
Well, Anthony, you got to remember, well, first I blame it on my dog, because my computer was broke for a month. So I was without a computer for a month. So I couldn't make any videos then. I kept ordering stuff and getting stuff. I'm running out of room to put things. So stuff keeps getting delivered, and I have nowhere to put it. I have a case of Funko Pops, because I do not collect Funko Pops. We all know that. I have a case of Funko Pops sitting on...
How many's in the case? How many's in the case?
Well, I mean, it depends on how many box... there's 20-some, plus a couple of the bigger ones, like Kylo and his jet and whatever. See, what I'll do is I'll go... Now that I have them, once the movie comes out, I can look and say, yeah, I want this one, yeah, I don't want this one, whatever. And then I'll just take the rest of them, and I'll...
They might be giveaways.
Giveaways, or ship them off to the Kessel Toy Run. Or
that, yeah. Also a good place to go.
That's what I did last year. I opened up I had a bunch of stuff that I opened up, and I was and stuff I specially ordered for that, and then just sent it. You can't always do the Amazon thing, where you go on Amazon and send it directly to them, which is a great thing too, because if you look on Amazon at the right time, you can find good discounts and stuff like that. You can find last week they had some Funkos for $5 that are normally $10. You can find Black Series that Amazon is selling for almost half price, because they're the old peg warmers where it would be nice to give the kids something new from this movie, but a lot of the kids don't know that it's not new and won't really care that it's Ray from 3 years ago or 4 years ago, and that you only paid $6 for it instead of 25. That doesn't that
Yeah, they don't.
they're just happy to get shit. They're in the hospital really sick, and
Mm-hmm.
the good thing about them too is they give it for the brothers and sisters and the family members, because if you have a sick family member, you're stuck in the hospital with them. You're living in the hospital with them, or you're passed off from you know aunts and uncles and cousins and everybody doing whatever. So they give them toys too, so they don't feel left out, so they get stuff. But
Yeah, from
but speaking of,
The Kessel Toy Run, and also include the Black Squadron podcast. They're doing fundraising and wanting to gather toys for kids in children's hospitals too. So it's Brandon and also the boys over at Black Squadron podcast. Give them both a look and a listen, and send anything you can, please.
and then Brandon will be making the rounds probably on a few of the Making Star Wars podcasts,
Mm-hmm.
network ones, if not other ones. What I was going to say about Amazon. If you look on Amazon a lot of times, if you look at the books, if they're not brand new, you can buy them a lot of times used, and they're still a good quality. And if you
Mm-hmm.
don't have a specific, like, let's say you just want to buy some Star Wars books and you don't have a specific one you're looking for, and you have X amount of dollars you want to spend, or you want to buy 4 books, so you say, okay, let me look at these 10 books that I might want. You can go out and find them. You can find them like new, and they're sometimes the shipping's more than it is to actually buy the book. So, like, I bought one the other day. It was $3.99 and $4 something for shipping, or $5 for shipping. It's coming over, but it's coming over from England, so I don't get it until almost Christmas. But who cares? Not like I don't have enough other books. Not like I need the book. I just saw it and I said, "Oh, that book looks kind of interesting. Let me see how much it is." And I was like, $15. Do I really want to spend $15 for it? Okay. And then I was like, wait a second. This one has it for $3.99, like new. Oh, it's $4.50 to ship it. Okay, it's still $8. I'll take that one.
Exactly,
Especially
because
since a couple of the books I do have to open. I know that I bought them at Celebration so that I could get them signed, even though I already had them because they were at home.
yeah, I was just taking a look probably 2 or 3 weeks back at Amazon, the used books, as you said, and I was pretty curious looking for a map of the Star Wars galaxy. And back in 2016, there was the Galactic Atlas, back when Rogue One came out. And I thought, well, now, you know what? I want to know what this, I want that book. And I went and found it. It was kind of how gently used, as it said. Maybe had some pages, corners turned and whatnot. And I found that for around about $8 with $4 shipping. And I'm sitting here holding it right now, and I'm really happy with it. So yeah, used books on Amazon. Yeah, you go and give it a look.
Definitely. I mean, if I get them new, or when they first come out, I get them new in good condition.
Mm-hmm.
And within 4 or 5 months, they're about $5 or $10 cheaper, depending on the book.
Yep.
Like this one that I just opened up. If I bought it last week, it would have probably saved me $10. I don't know that specifically, but that's about what it is. But we have okay, so that's enough chit chat. What else we got going on? Someone sent me someone said in the message earlier about.
Oh yeah, who's that?
I don't know. Somebody said something about they'd like something I did. I don't know. Listen, I don't get many compliments, so you guys got to remember, I'm still, new at this, or I mean, not necessarily new, but I took a break for a year, and then I just kind of messed around with stuff until I found that this is what I want to do. I want to come and chat with people and talk with people.
Okay. Can we turn the talk for maybe just a momentary minute to some Mandalorian talk?
Yep, right here. Charles said, "Loved your
What you got?
Mandalorian review with Michael Pappas."
I need to watch that yet. I'm really behind in my playlist.
Well, there is.
I'm caught up with audio shows. I need to go and give a look and listen to some YouTube stuff, including yours, and also including all the things that Jason Ward put up on making Star Wars. I want to watch a bunch of that. But I was seeing a little bit ago in that Twitterverse that what folks are calling Yiddle, if you take my meaning, that little youngin'. Carl Weathers is saying he's got a name, and maybe we're yet to be told what that name is. Because I heard all manner of different. The girls with sabers are calling Sweet Pea, and like I said before, I heard Yiddle, and there's all manner of names. So maybe what you thinking they're going to tell us that little youngin's name's going to be, because just for me, he's a little youngin to me. What do you think he's going to be called?
Well, I know there's been a lot of talk about the spoiler on that and people letting it go and saying it or whatever. And people arguing back and forth about how dare you put a spoiler on there, and other people saying, it's not my fucking fault to babysit your shit. Show some personal responsibility. It's kind of a little bit of both. I mean, yeah, if I put something on there and I'm not trying to be a dick and I'm not trying to ruin your fun. I'm sorry if I did.
Do that.
Not me personally. I'm just saying, like, me, like, in general. Like, well, me. If I put something on there and it spoils something, it wouldn't be intentional, but you also need to have those things blocked. Now, I understand some people don't have it blocked, but today, I'm not sure if it was Disney or Lucasfilm. It was Star Wars, StarWars.com or Star Wars Twitter. Put up pictures of that baby.
Yeah, they was going and doing spoilers.
So now, I mean,
over abroad that can't watch.
But it's not. I mean, there's a bunch of things at play here. You need to have personal responsibility for it. I mean, on the Tuesday that it came out, I didn't watch Disney Plus all day. I stayed off social media pretty much all day, except to go on it. I posted a couple of things, but I made sure where I went was safe. I mean, I'm on and off Facebook and Twitter all day long. Whether it's for a couple minutes here or there, I sit there for an hour or two and do it. I didn't go on YouTube to see anything because I knew people would be spoiling stuff. I just, that was my choice. I didn't want to lose anything, so I didn't want to know what happened, so I made the choice not to do it. Now, if it was going to be a week, how long would that have lasted? I don't really know, but eventually things are going to get spoiled. It's not like I walked out of the movie. It's not like I walked out of The Last Jedi and said Luke got killed or something like that to everybody that was standing in line. Which actually, no, that happened when I was. I don't think it was The Last Jedi, but it was another movie. It was one of the Avengers movies. Somebody walked out and yelled what happened, and someone should have beat his ass. No one did, but I wouldn't have felt bad if it happened because you're personal responsibility.
Yeah, but, Chris King in the live chat's giving me a bit of a giggle. He said, if I had to wait 4 months before I could watch something, I'm just giving up and getting spoiled. Yep.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you and me too, buddy. You and me too.
I mean, that's the way it is. And then, you have the people that are like, well, I just downloaded it. I just pirated it. okay, that's up to you if that's what you want to do. There's other people that won't do it because it's illegal and it's wrong to do. So, I mean,
Yeah, because
you
they
can't.
won't or they can't. You're right.
Well, you
You're
can't
right.
justify pirating by saying, well, Disney's a huge corporation and they shouldn't have, spread it out or whatever. Well, there's other contracts involved in it with other things, and whatever it is overseas in Australia and Europe, especially the UK, which doesn't get it for another couple months, and but you can't justify doing something like that illegal by saying, well, I don't want to be spoiled. It's not like you're stealing a loaf of bread to feed your family, which is still illegal. You're going to get caught. You're going to go to jail, but that's, hopefully the judge lets you go, but, you still spent the night in jail, whatever. I mean, most people, I think, in this day and age have pirated something or downloaded something that they shouldn't have. I know.
You're going to go and do a talk about Resistance Reborn with Johnny Worm coming up.
Yep.
And
See,
yeah,
this is
he pirated that story because I asked him straight up in a voicemail on his most recent show. And we also know that Neil Lowry did the same thing because he told us in not so many words. And yes, Charles Westcott in the chat, yeah, it's bad because they didn't choose to go and share with all the world. They only choose to go and share with part of the world. Yeah, and that's
it's like back in the day when you used to record videos, or record when you go to Blockbuster and you get a movie, and you'd have your other.
Oh, I can go and tell you about back in the day.
Yeah, well, you'd have your other VCR hooked up to it, and you'd play it and watch it while you're recording the other one. And if you're doing that for yourself, I mean, it's still against the law, but it's not like you're turning around and selling it for profit.
No, I can go even way back further than that, Michael.
Okay, what do you got, Anthony?
I'll go back as far as 1980, and I'm going to guess you weren't even born then. For them Star Wars audio dramas on the radio, I was recording them as a 13-year-old on a cassette tape player that was played on NPR radio. And they weren't released for us, but I was recording them for myself to go and listen to for myself. And in my mind, that's the earliest form of pirating, as folks say nowadays. But I didn't go and share because back in 1981, you couldn't go and share that. You only had to record it and keep it for yourself. But still, nonetheless, I was pirating. I was recording things that was trademarked to other folks. I couldn't share it with nobody else. Just had to keep them for myself. But all the same, that's pirating if you take my meaning.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know what you mean. And we got Chris in here saying that his only outlet to talk about Star Wars or whatever is through Twitter. And
That's
so
pretty much me anymore nowadays.
It's not fair to him to say he can't talk about it on Twitter, but he also says that he hasn't discussed any Mando stuff or spoilers.
No, I won't go and for me, in my opinion, I won't go and discuss nor share anything about Mandalorian because I got respect for our friends across the pond, whether it be in England or Germany or all of Europe. Even though so many other folks already, even StarWars.com, been posting spoilers. I won't go and share nothing about what I seen to let them folks down.
I mean, it was on the original. It was on the original day news outlets had it.
Yeah. Yep.
We're posting and doing it. So I mean, it's you want to talk about people put it on Twitter. If you open up a magazine or turn on your computer, and all of a sudden there's an ad from whoever, and there it is. But that was the other thing too. So everyone seems, with The Mandalorian coming out and Fallen Order coming out, that we had Resistance Reborn last week come out. We had an episode last night of Resistance, which was a really good.
I need to catch up on that.
That was a really good episode. That was a really good episode. And in a couple hours, we have
DJ's putting his boys down.
The Collector.
Force Collector.
Force Collector coming out.
Yes.
So.
Oh, do I gotta go and put my playlist down again tomorrow?
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
DJ, yep. You're good, buddy.
All right. I finally got home and got on the Wi-Fi, so it'll make it a lot easier.
Attaboy, you're all good. You're all good.
So yeah, that's everybody. Everyone. It's just Resistance was a great Resistance last night. And
no spoilers. I ain't seen it yet. I'll go and watch it after we're done here.
Okay. Well, I mean, all I'm going to say is that I don't know if it's a coincidence, the way things come out, but
Star Wars storytelling don't do coincidences, Michael. They don't do coincidences in telling Star Wars stories.
Well, we have
just saying.
I'm just saying we got a good book coming out tomorrow, so you should probably go watch Resistance tonight.
And then what? Go and put my playlist down tomorrow and give that a listen.
Well, I mean, my playlist has been getting shorter and shorter lately.
Yeah, I seen.
It's, and I've talked about before. I listen on double speed, and just back and forth from work or whatever. That's 2 hours. So that's 4 hours of listening time I got. Walking my dogs, there's another hour or two.
Okay.
So now we're up to 6 or 8 hours of listening time. And when I'm doing my honeydew list or doing some chores around the house, or I have waterproof headphones. I stick those in and I get in the shower and do everything. So you're talking about 5 or 6 hours of listening time, which is 10 or 12 hours because I do it at double speed, and that's 10 or 12 hours of podcast. So my list is really long.
Thankfully, I get a chance to listen while I'm at work.
Yep. Well, that's why you'll notice. I don't know if you've ever seen Charlie when I write that. I rebelled. When I write that I rebelled, my list is usually longer because I'm not allowed to listen at work, but a lot of times I'm able to
rebel.
I'm able to rebel and stick my earbud in, and it's over. It's usually, depending on where I'm able to be, but that's probably going to be coming to an end soon.
Just don't go in no kind of trouble, Michael. Don't go doing that. Don't go getting yourself in trouble when you rebel.
I don't.
Well, thankfully, I work in an office, and all I do is draw all day in a dark room. So I get the leeway of being able to listen to and participate more on Twitter. And it's you guys' playlists are going down. Mine seems to be going up.
Oh, wow. DJ, you sound kind of like me, because lately at my work, it's been pretty slow. And I get to listen from, well, you see what I post up. I listen to who has breakfast with me, and I listen to who rides to work with me, and then I post up my playlist for who I'm going to go listen to at the start of my workday, who has lunch with me, who rides home with me, and everybody that's on my radio after. Yeah, I'm pretty spoiled like you too, DJ. I got I got a lot of shows in my playlist, and I went and add one of Michael's uh, secret ingredients because I don't do 2 times, but I go and listen to some shows, especially them that's over 2 hours. Yeah, I go and listen to 1/2 times, and I get a lot of shows in my playlist. So
See, I have to try
between
that. I'm gonna have to try that again now and see if I can listen to it at a little bit faster speed and get more content.
Go up,
yeah,
go up, go up to. It's kind of like you need to raise your tolerance. Go up to like 1.2. And if 1.2 isn't a stretch for you at all, go up to like 1.3, maybe 1.4. And if that's a little bit much, just ones that you know really well that you can listen to that maybe aren't like the scruffy boys.
scruffy looking podcasters.
Well, or your Australian ones because sometimes they're a little bit harder to understand, or a little bit their cadence is a little bit different, so it's a little bit off-putting at first. The
Aussie boys or the Brit boys? Any of the Aussies or Brits? They can be tough. They can be tough.
That's what I'm saying. You might not want to put them up, use them as your guinea pig, or use those to try and do it. And then you slowly start building it up. And I was at 1.5 for a while, and I was at 1.5 for probably a month or two, and never thought anything about going higher than that. And I heard somebody say something about listening to that too, and I said, "You do what? What the fuck's wrong with you?" And I tried it, and I said, "Oh, this isn't too bad." And then after a couple of times, you get used to it. So,
Chris King in the live chat. Chris said I used to listen all the time at work, and I found it become very unproductive. I feel you, buddy. I gotcha. Oh yeah, me too.
Charles asked what draw all day. Yeah, I'm a drafter, designer, and engineer for an oil and gas refinery. So I just do math and draw all day long and listen to podcasts.
Oh, DJ, you do the same kind of work, maybe similar to what Luke Cruiser from Bad Motivators does, sort of, kind of.
I haven't come across him yet, so I'll have to look him up.
Yeah, give Bad Motivator boys a listen.
Yeah, Bad Motivators are one of my. It's going to kind of become apparent now. Before, I used to listen to so many podcasts. I mean, the last time I counted, I had 120 or 130 a week that I listened to. And that doesn't include like 7x7 that puts one out every day, even though that's only 7 minutes long or 10 minutes long. Or
depends on what Alan can put out, but I get you.
But but then like a couple other ones that do it twice a week.
I'll never reach your numbers, Michael. 130. I've been averaging by the end of a day, a 24-hour day, from when I get up to when I go home or go to bed. No, I've been averaging. I'll never reach 120 or 30 for a work day. I've been reaching like maybe 15 in a day. Yeah, I'll never reach that. But
right. How many was my one that I posted today?
Well, you listen to at times 2 speeds, and the most that I'll listen to is at 1.5 times because I listen to Apple.
Yeah.
Or used to be iTunes. So they only have 2 choices at real time times 1 speed or 1.5 or 2 times speed. I can't choose 1.25 or 1.75 or anything like that. I only have 3 speeds to choose from.
Okay.
Real time, or 1.5 or 2 times. And
Okay.
the only time I go and choose to use 2 times speed is when there's a show in my playlist that's 2+ hours long. Like tomorrow morning, Scruffy Boys, they put out a 2+ hour long
Yeah.
show. So at some point tomorrow morning in my playlist, I want to put them down pretty quick.
But it
So,
used to go. It used to go. I would just kind of listen to whatever was on there on my playlist. Didn't really matter because it might take me a day or two, but I'd catch up. And then if I fell behind a little bit, a day or two later, I'd catch up. I had my favorites that I'd play first or listen to first, but it didn't really matter because whoever it was, whoever was on there, they were going to be getting played. Now it's coming down to, I went through and I erased 30 off my playlist going back to like 5 or 6 days ago, just because I knew I was never going to listen to them, and it was too full. And I still have probably 20 on there to listen to, and that doesn't include whatever got posted today or whatever gets posted tomorrow. And then I'm going to go, and read the book tomorrow. So I'll miss most of tomorrow's playlist.
yeah, because you got to go and put your playlist down to listen to that book. Let's jump in the live chat for a minute. Chris King said Bad Motivators is a top 5 for him. And yeah, Mr. Rez, they're funny fellows.
They're funny guys. They're all great dudes, completely different personalities. And I was lucky enough to, I was in the house with them for celebration this in Chicago this past April, and I'm going to be in the house with them again. Celebration coming up in August.
Charles Westcott said he sheepishly only subscribed to Rogue One, Johnny Grasso's podcast. It slipped through until he watched his video with you, Michael. He didn't know about Rogue One before that. And I'm pretty mad at Johnny Grasso. He's going to go and pick his ass up and start playing some voicemails, because there's going to be one coming up from me telling about folks need to go over to your channel, Michael, TooMedToo, and subscribe. So what the hell's Johnny Grasso doing? Because he needs to start playing some voicemails to give you a helping hand. He ain't played no voicemails for nearly a month, and I'm pretty
well, I know pissed
off at him.
I mean, they didn't play any last week because
Johnny ain't played any voicemails for nearly the last month. Because I'll go look in my email, and that last message that I told about picking your YouTube channel up was from October. So, Johnny Grasso, if you're listening to this, get your ass in gear, buddy. Pick this up and play them damn voicemails, buddy. What are you doing?
Whip them into shape.
Or pass it off to Pappas. And tell Grasso to tell him so. Because what the hell? That might gain you some more subscribers. Get on it, Grasso. What are you doing, Grasso? Get on it.
Well, that would be nice, but I can't really control what other podcasters do or what they say or who they promote. So
No, neither of us can. Oh, what's going on here? Mr. S says no video.
That's for you.
For me?
Yeah, you don't have any video. You're not
Oh,
using video.
looky.
Now
Where's your
Charlie's back
video?
on video.
No, I see DJ. Also said Charlie Skywalker. He's streaming video.
Trying to.
Yeah, Chris King in the live chat. I agree, buddy. I'm thinking he can't do it without Hawes, because Hawes has the power of downloads and output.
Well, I mean, I don't really get too much involved with,
That's why Johnny Gross is looking for other folks to help with Row One. He wants folks that can record and help spread out. And I aim to give him a helping hand, because I asked him, and I'm also on that Anchor app, if you know what that is.
Yep.
Yeah. I got my own channel, and if he wants to go and hook up and choose to do, I asked him, I'm just like, go to an open Star Wars seat, buddy. I just want to talk Star Wars with you. And if you want to go that way, I can record us and help spread your show. And he didn't go and pick me up, and that's his choice just yet. But he sounds all inclusive for friends that want to be included. So we'll see.
I don't know. I listen to podcasts, and I'm friends with, pretty much all of my, not all of my, but a large percentage of my Star Wars friends are all podcasters or YouTubers, and going back because Johnny Grosso is the one that found me. You guys most of you know the story. I decided I wanted to make friends, so I started social media and all that crap. And I was on social media for a couple of days or a week or whatever, and he sent me a message and said, "Hey, we're all getting together," and it was all of the East Coast chapter of the Making Star Wars Network. And other people too, because other people flew in to hang out. So, and I met the boys from Tau Swift that day, and a bunch, just a bunch of other people that I could sit here and go on and name names, but it doesn't really matter. But let them do with their podcast if they want to. If they,
Well, one day, Michael, I hope to hear you on Rogue One and talking with Johnny. And I know you don't like the sound of your voice, but still, one day, I hope to hear you talking with Johnny Grosso on Rogue One.
Well, you had me with Pappas the other day.
Yeah, that's something I gotta go and give a look to on your channel, on your YouTube channel.
And there's gonna be more of those to come with me and Mike doing our little
good
Mandalorian recap. We got to record him first. It wasn't a planned thing. It was me going over there watching it, and then he was recording. He was supposed to record 20 minutes for his show, and we ended up recording almost an hour. And whatever
as you do, yeah.
And whatever happened, and it didn't make it to the show. So he said, go ahead and put it on your YouTube channel, and it got a great response. And there was people that when I started my YouTube channel 2 years ago that I haven't, and I took that year-long break, and that I haven't heard of or heard from since then, that hit me up or sent me messages and said, "Hey, I really like that. Are you going to do more of it?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, that why not?" but it's not like a lot of other people where they're trying to get theirs out first. And it would be great if I could record with him on, it comes out on 3 o'clock in the morning on Friday, and watch it at 4 o'clock and record with him Friday morning before he goes to work, or when I wake up at 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning. But it's just not that important to us to be the first ones to have something out there about it. So it will get out there before it will get out there before the next show, and hopefully we can get him every week done. But if it doesn't come out, then this isn't what my profession is. This isn't what his profession is. It's what kind of an impromptu thing done for fun. So there'll be more coming. Hopefully, yes.
No, right. Go ahead. I got something for you after you finish that.
Okay. There's going to be more coming. Hopefully, we get one out before every new episode comes out. Hopefully, we get one out shortly after the episode comes out. But if I have to put up our review next Saturday from that past Friday and the next Friday, well, then I'm going to put it up for on Saturday for Friday and the Friday before, because I don't really think many people are going to listen to this, or mine or anybody else's, to get the news. They just want to hear somebody else's opinion, and I have a lot of crazy opinions and a lot of crazy thoughts. Well, I guess we'll talk about the Mandalorian next. But yes, Charlie. Charlie, you want me to call you Charlie, or you want me to call you DJ, or
whatever works, whatever's clever.
Okay.
All right, so I was.
And he's gone.
Come on.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever seen one of these?
DJ's still here. We're good.
Is that the really, really thin metal ones? They come in like a little. It's like a little. It's like a little packet. It's not even a box.
Yes.
I have. Yes, I have. I have one or two of those. I know I have one of them. My father sent it to me. He said, "Here." He's like, "Oh, watch. There's a package coming in the mail for you." And coming from him, I have no idea what it can be. It can be, a pencil, or it could be, a brand new computer. Just God only knows with him what it's going to be. Not really to that extreme, but well, maybe, who knows? But he sent me that, and then he sent me another metalworking like tools to go with it. But okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, where'd you pick that up?
Some of my favorites. I like collecting the oddball stuff.
Okay. What was that book you had?
That new essential guide to characters, weapons and technology, vehicles and vessels. I'll show it again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have that.
It's one of my favorites. I like it.
I
can't find my encyclopedia.
What does the spine look like? Okay.
It's a Del Rey.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have that. I don't see it on my bookshelf, which doesn't mean anything because, that's not really organized properly. I'm looking, I have, at the one end, I have the Star Wars visual encyclopedia and visual whatever and other stuff. In the middle, I have Joseph Campbell books and obsessed with Star Wars facts. I have other books, other places. So, I really don't have anything to,
It's got a little bit of everything in there. It's got
wow,
blaster specs.
That's pretty sweet.
Holy force.
That's one of my favorites. I just love looking through that. The thing about it is it does include a lot of the extended universe canon, but it's still good.
Oh, there's an E11 blaster. I love that.
See, it's like I was just trying to see what I have, if I could find anything, but like the top 2 books on my underneath my bookcase to go through are the Han Solo book, still in the wrapper, and then Star Wars Magic of Myth, which there's no order
That's
to
a
which
good one.
they're down. There's no order. Here's Rebels, visual guide.
Mm-hmm.
I have some other bigger ones. When I say bigger, I mean like visual dictionaries. But I think I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and I don't know, just go buy another bookcase. I was told I wasn't allowed to because it's only for my shit. I'm not putting it. It does nothing for her stuff. But
I'm thinking you need 2 or 3 more bookcases, Michael. You need 2 or 3 more.
Well, we got to start off small.
What's small? Explain to me small. About all the shit you got hidden. Explain to me small.
Probably at least 1 row on a bookshelf. Like a regular, I don't know, what's a bookshelf? 3, 30 inches, 36 inches? I don't know what
5 shelves tall. 5 shelves tall.
Yeah, about a foot each one, and then they're about 3 feet wide.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I got at least 1 bookshelf of 2 bookshelves of books, 2 bookshelves of Black Series and Funkos to go up.
Oh boy!
And then I still got.
You already done got it filled up, and you need another next.
And it's not even Christmas yet.
Exactly. What about after Christmas?
Oh, we got James in here from Rebel Scum podcast.
James! Yes!
Hey, James.
Where's Andrew Fantasia? James! Where's Andrew? Get his ass in here too. Hello, James.
James, so while you were gone, before you got in here, we did a little continuation of your podcast. And most of the people in here, at least, knew that R2, or not R2, C3PO.
Have a good one, Chris.
All right, Chris, thanks for stopping by. Most people knew that C3PO was built, or was a refurbished model. And we kind of dissected that role, that movie scene where he first wakes up and Anakin introduces her. I'm horrible at reading the chat and being able to talk to, because then I just stop talking and start reading the chat, and then all of a sudden, that's why I usually let Royal Farm Boy read it for me. And he tells me what's going on.
Yep. That's my job.
Y'all, you'll get it.
So, yeah, so The Mandalorian. I have some crazy ideas about The Mandalorian.
Like what?
How they're probably these aren't. I think they're going to be true. And I haven't done the video on this past one yet. So, but I'll still talk it here with you guys because not that many other people are going to see this. So, all right. So we have.
Wait, which past one yet?
Episode two.
Or
I haven't recorded episode 2 yet.
chapter 2.
Chapter 2. I haven't recorded chapter 2 yet.
You ain't seen it yet?
I've seen it.
You did.
Yeah, but I haven't recorded it. Well, so it starts off with on Wednesday or Thursday or whatever it was. What's his name? Nick from at Chat had posted his video, and I said, "Dude, you know, Yoda's gonna have force powers. Baby Yoda's gonna have force powers because because he's 50 years old doesn't mean."
Who has force powers? You're saying who has force powers?
I was saying Baby Yoda was going to have force powers.
Okay, carry on.
Because even though he's 50 years old, that doesn't mean, or he's a baby or an infant or whatever it is, doesn't mean that he's not going to have any powers or be able to do anything yet. That you just watch and, could you imagine? And I think I said to him on Thursday, because then the next day he sent me a message. He's like, just wait until you watch the show or something along those lines, or, whatever it is. I'm not really sure. And I watched it and I was like, damn, dude, that was good.
Let me ask DJ. DJ, you there, buddy?
Hey, what's up? Sorry. Trying to
DJ?
get a little dinner going too. So,
do you think it's a he or a she? What do you think, in your opinion? Is it a boy or a girl? What we've been told, what we've seen in The Mandalorian. Is it a boy or a girl?
it will be a male.
You think? Okay, Michael. Your thoughts?
Well, we don't know anything about the species.
No, we don't. I
don't know if you guys ever watch Urban Acolyte, a guy named Prince Bell. He does more like the mystical stuff of the Force, and he studied all different forms of religion and everything. So he knows, he calls a lot of the shit that's going to happen beforehand because of the mysticism and everything like that. But he was talking, and he did a video just saying how all these other people are coming out with these videos saying all these things that we know about Yoda's species, and it's all bullshit because we don't know anything. We know that there's 3 of them. Now there used to be 2 of them. We now know there's 3 of them, and we don't know anything else about them. So all these people that are coming out with videos saying this is what we know about the species, they're all BS. But so what if, since we don't know anything about the species, how do we know that the female of the species gives birth? What if the male of the species gives birth? There's species on our planet where the males give birth. There's only a couple of them, but what's to say that we don't have, everybody's talking about Yaddle giving birth, which is a whole other talk whether or not this is Yaddle's baby. But how do we know it wasn't Yoda's baby? That it wasn't, that they reproduce asexually, this being. That all of a sudden he just became pregnant and popped out baby Yoda. The same time that, if you watch my video, we talked about Anakin Skywalker and baby Yoda were born at the same time or the same year. If you look at the timeline, how do you know that 9 years or 10 years before the Phantom Menace takes place, baby Yoda didn't pop out a baby? It has absolutely nothing to do with the female species. The female species are, pointless in the Yoda species. So, why not go that way? And knowing Star Wars and knowing how crazy, these guys are that made, grew up watching Star Wars and were influenced by the same things that George Lucas was influenced by, when it comes to sci-fi and even going back to Westerns and everything. And who knows what Filoni was taught, or what else George Lucas said to him and all the time they spent together. That was never made public. But just for shits and giggles, could you imagine if Yoda gave birth instead of Yaddle, or what if what do we know? Maybe George gave him a ton of headcanon about Yoda's species, but we just don't know because George didn't want anybody to know. And now it's been time for the lore of the Yoda species to go on, and guys give birth.
Well,
Just like
Oh, the old.
just like
well,
what was that movie with in the 80s with Quaid, and he ends up with an alien, and the alien gives birth. He ends up on a planet with some alien, and they're enemies, but become friends because they need to become friends to survive. Oh God!
Are
You got me stumped there.
No, I'm thinking you're
My
talking
first thought
about...
was Gremlins, so if you get them wet, but
No,
That's
no,
Gremlins.
not Gremlins. I'm thinking Michael's talking about...
It's like a two-word
What the hell was
two-word
the
movie
name of that
title.
movie?
Enemy Mine. Mr.
Yes,
Rez coming through
that
Enemy Mine.
one. Yes, thank you, Mr.
Good job, Charles
Rez.
and Rez.
Yes,
Louis, that's
one.
right. Louis Gossett Jr. was the alien.
But I want to go take a 4 or 5 steps, maybe 6 or 7 step back, where Michael says, "Who knows?" And I've been shouting this, screaming nearly at so many shows that says, "Who knows?" And you can go and goddamn trust me, somebody, especially somebody at Lucasfilm, somebody knows. We don't know, but somebody there telling the story, they know. Ain't for us to know yet. That's coming up. But
I think
somebody knows. Not for us to know yet. When the story's told, then we'll know.
But see,
somebody knows.
When I say who knows, I mean you don't know what's going to happen. Yes, someone knows because someone obviously wrote the story, or someone has the knowledge of it, or someone's going to make it up. But
yes, we don't know.
But they don't have
somebody
to stay,
else does.
But they don't have to stay on a linear path. Like, could you imagine if Yoda actually did give birth to this baby? Because the male gives birth? And I'm saying, when I say who knows, it's more along the lines of it's not a common thought, or no one would be in their thought process. Or
Gotcha.
people would say we already know, we would know that if it was true or whatever. Well, nobody knows. Who knows? Nobody knows. Well, I just mean, yes, that's one or two people do know, or a small group of people know, but the vast majority of us don't really know, and we're just guessing, and we're basing it off of what Star Wars has done before. And we need a big reveal. We need a big surprise. So what would be even better to reveal that Yoda gives birth, the males of the species give birth. Which goes on to my other crazy thing.
Which is what?
So this is
I had
how
a
the
theory
Mandalorian.
as well. So.
Oh, let's hear your theory. Go with your theory, Charlie.
Go,
My
DJ.
theory was, especially since there was reference to the scientist having a Camino shirt on, that could it possibly be a clone of Yoda or a clone of Yaddle, instead of them being just offspring, but actually being a clone of, and that's how they'll bring it together.
Well, see, that's a lot of people have been saying a clone. I honestly don't think that it's Yoda's baby or Yaddle's baby. I just think it's another member of the species, and I don't remember. I know I was saying this out loud, so I don't remember if I was talking into my phone using voice to text to make this message, or if I was talking to someone, or whatever it was. I could have been talking to Pappas about this. I'm not really sure, but it wasn't before we were going to record the last one, or the first one that we did. I
Hey,
think it's just a completely different. It has nothing to do with Yoda. It has nothing to do with Yaddle. They're not related. I don't think it's a clone. I think that's kind of red herring put in there that it is a clone doctor or a Camino doctor or whatever you want to call it that wants the baby. I don't think he wants the baby back like it was his or he cloned it. I think he wants it for cloning purposes because you can still like he wants it alive so that he can use it as much as he wants and have the DNA for it. Kind of like if you watch Stranger Things 7. But if it's dead, it still works fine. You have the DNA. It just isn't as potent or disintegrates with time. But I think it was more along the lines with that. But I think just because, and these are all just crazy thoughts. Like, could you imagine if they fucking happen? So the Mandalorian takes Baby Yoda, finds out what planet Baby Yoda's from, kind of like an ET thing, or Baby Yoda, can find its way back because, who knows what kind of knowledge it has at 50 years old. It just might not be able to articulate it or might not have the physical prowess or whatever. Goes back to its home planet, which we don't know where that is because it's in the Outer Rim. And it's past the Outer Rim. It's past where Thrawn's from and past there. Like it's from their Outer Rim is where it's from.
it's called the Unknown Regions. And I'm also looking in the live chat that... Oh, where am I going? Live chat's kind of blowing up a little bit. I'm seeing Mr. Rez. He's asking DJ, what's for dinner? And then also hamburgers. That's what I'm kind of wondering. Is Yoda's species also from the unknown regions?
I'm saying, all right. So we have the unknown regions, and that's where Thrawn's from.
Also, yep.
So past Thrawn's region that they don't know about, the unknown region.
They don't know about each other. Is that what you're thinking?
Well, no, I'm saying so. Like if you take the map linear and you take the center of the map and you point out and you go to that's where the outer regions are to the unknown regions, and then you go even further through the unknown regions where the people in the unknown regions live, and that's their unknown region. After that, that's where Yoda's from. So it takes him forever to get home. Yoda then, because he's happy with the Mandalorian saving him, Baby Yoda, goes back and then grows up and then comes back with his people to come defeat the Empire who wanted to take him, or the remnants of the Empire, I should say, because they don't even know about Palpatine still being alive in his contingency plan. Comes back, all these Force Yodas, because they're a dime a dozen. That just happens to be where they are. Everybody's got the Force. They're all over the place. They're not uncommon. It's just because they're so far out that no one knows about them. So where their planet, the Baby Yoda planet, there's just millions of Yodas running around. They all come over to fight and help Rey out to defeat the Emperor. Which we already have the spoilers of what's going to happen, so that hasn't been said at all. But I just think that would be something crazy. He said the Mandalorian sends him off to save him, and then he comes back to save the rest of the world.
They've been slowly bringing back the extended universe. In Knights of the Old Republic, there was a Yoda type figure that was in there as well. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember what that one's name was. But he was a Force user. If they're going to try to bring back more of the extended universe, this could be another way to do it. Also, in the extended universe, if I remember right, there was a beef between the Yoda type species and as well. I'm trying to remember. It was one of the Fett books that talked about that originally. Um, and it's so same thing with the droids. So why does the Mandalorians hate the droids? Well, they have a reason to. Same reason with this Yoda type species. It's supposed to they had a beef a long time ago, and they're still not over it. So it's kind of makes that trying to bring in some of the old stuff in with the new.
Yeah, I think what there's. I mean, I really don't know anything about the EU because when they were writing the books and everything, I didn't care about the books.
Me neither. Me neither.
Just because I didn't like reading. If they would have had them all on audiobooks, that would have been a different story. But I didn't read any of them. I probably skimmed a couple and was just like, I'm not reading. I don't care, whatever. Even though it was Star Wars, I love Star Wars. It was reading. So the hatred of Star Wars or the hatred of reading overtook the love of Star Wars.
Well,
but I mean, the only thing that Legends is really for now is just ideas if they want to use or something else that's out there. And from what they've been using so far, everything's been good. They haven't been really using.
I agree.
They haven't been using, from what I know of the Legends, not Legends but from what I know of Legends, they have been using the crap. They've been using the good stuff that was already out there. So, bring it in, mix it up. Just use what use what you feel is good for the makers.
Well,
yeah,
for me,
I've had a long history. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go, DJ, go.
Well, it's Star Wars for me has just been. I saw the first one. I was very young. I saw the first one in the movie theaters. I've seen every Star Wars movie in the theaters. At that time in 83, 85, when Return of the Jedi came out, there was just so much that I wanted to get into. And the movies, said that they were so, they weren't going to make anymore. And so they started producing these books. I loved it so much. I just soaked it up with a sponge and read every single thing that I could and just tried to get as much Star Wars as I possibly could in the short time that they were doing stuff. And it was kind of devastating when they came back and said, you know what, hey, all these books that you really grew up on, you really loved, they don't really matter anymore. But hey, we're going to give you new movies and kind of to placate everybody. But yeah, I'm glad they're starting to really go back and at least pull out a few things here and there.
All right, so DJ, I'm a little bit older than you are, and I made my way for 16 years through what fandom calls the dark times. Them 16 years between 1983 and when Timothy Zahn's Thrawn trilogy showed up in 1991. And I went and give that book a read. And I couldn't finish it because just in my opinion, it weren't a Star Wars story to me, because it got too kind of, how folks says, science fiction, because Star Wars ain't never been science fiction. It's always been fantasy. So just for that one book that he wrote, Heir to the Empire, I couldn't ever finish it. And never gave a look nor listen to the next two books that come after. And just for me, in my opinion, there are so many other stories in what we now call legends that I ain't nearly familiar with, because I also consider them science fiction that weren't Star Wars to me, just to me, in my opinion.
Oh, I understand that. Absolutely. There, who did it? Alan Foster wrote a book,
Alan
Splinter of the
D. Foster.
Mind's Eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great book. It was, if I remember right, the first appearance of the kyber crystals, although they didn't really call it a kyber crystal in the book. I
No,
love that one. Then
you're on point.
that they did. What was another one? Shadow of the Empire, I believe, was one that they did. That was kind of
That
set
was
in
in
between.
1996. Yeah,
Yeah,
1996.
that was a good one as well.
All
Just
right,
brought
thank you,
up the
James, for
different.
stopping by. Sorry, Charlie, for cutting you off.
Oh
Thank you,
yeah.
James, for stopping by. I'll talk to you later on in the week. Okay, sorry, Charlie. Commence.
Yeah, there was such good content that was going on, uh, and I understand your hesitation about that. It took me a little bit to get through that one. In fact, I read it twice before I moved on to the second one. But with it, I really enjoyed the character of Thrawn and the idea of him, and then the clone Jedi as well. That I've kind of got through it. Very similar to like the Harry Potter series. I had to push my way through the first two books in order to get to somewhere where to me it was readable. Uh, but once I got past that, I really fell in love with the characters and the idea behind it.
Yeah, see, like I said, I don't really know because I might have read it when it first. Well, no, that would have probably been a little bit too advanced for my reading when it first came out, right? Because it came out right after. It came out in between Star Wars and Empire, right? A New Hope and
Yeah.
Empire. Okay, yeah. So I
Yes.
wouldn't have read it then. But I mean, because I was born. I was born in '78. So I missed the I missed the beginning of it, but still, I was a couple years old when Jedi came out. So probably when they started writing most of the books, I think was the late '80s. So if I would have started reading those, and then I would have been reading any of those. But I've always heard that those movies, or I'm sorry, those books were horrible. But that gets into it's all personal preference on what you like. Did you like those books because it was the only Star Wars you could get, or did you like those books because they were actually good books? With like what we have now, for hey Evil Eye, Charlie's making us all dinner. Give us your address. I'll put it in the mail for you tonight. Thanks for joining us. He's taking orders. But it's like right what we have now. There hasn't been a bad canon book since I started reading the canon books last year. I've read all of them except for one or two, just because I haven't gotten to them. Because my playlist had expanded so much that I was like, there's really no reason to read. Well, not that there's no reason to read. Canto Bite or whatever the book is. But like I have time to do it. It doesn't play in a pivotal part of the saga or the series or the trilogy that's going on right now. So I have time to read it. But there isn't one book that one book that's bad. If you asked me, if you said, "Hey, recommend a book to me," I'd say, "Okay, well, what do you like?" Because depending on what you like, depends on what kind of book you want. That's people will put on Twitter. I'm thinking about reading the canon books. I haven't read one yet. What should I read? And people are like, "Oh, you need to read this. Oh, you have to read this. Oh, you need to read this." There's a couple that are more well known as like the best books out there, and the who the best authors are. But it all depends what you like. If you don't really care about history and you don't want to know about the politics of Star Wars, Bloodlines might not be up your alley. But you're into more of the mystical part and kind of like the dark side and action. You're probably going to want to read Dark Disciple. So those are two completely different books. They're on really two different spectrums of, if you say, a lot of times I compare it to like a big budget drama suspense movie versus an action movie. You can still have that action movie that's really good if it's well written, well directed. I mean, of course, everything if it's well done, but they're on two different levels. Or especially with the last couple of books that came out, it depends on. I can't think of the name of Resistance Reborn that just came out. Mm-hmm. This might end up being, because it ties everything together so well. And Rebecca Roadhouse, is that her name? I think
Rowan Horse.
Okay.
Yes.
She it's her first Star Wars book, and she did an amazing job. She doesn't have, she's not known like some of the other Star Wars authors are, and that maybe have more of a handle on the lore and how things are. So, but like she tied everything in so well, and it's like it's up there with one of the best books. It might not be the most, I don't want to say well written, like Bloodlines or like something along one of those books, but it's one of the best books there is. And
how about just on point, in character, in galaxy, in the story? Just be told a story just like that. If you take my meaning.
Yeah.
No, I do. Yeah. But what I'm saying is,
it's
Anthony. I wasn't trying to rate them or say which one's better than others. I was just trying to use it as an example. When you're trying to describe something to someone, mm-hmm. I can't just give a blanket statement because mm-hmm. where he feels an EU book was great and thinks it was, now I'm putting words in his mouth, but one of the best books from the EU. The vast majority of people say the opposite. So it all depends on what you like and what you're into. That doesn't diminish. That doesn't diminish the book for him any less. But that's one of the reasons I've never thought about reading the book. That most Star Wars fans have read. They just say that it's not on their list of good books, to be to say it nicely. But it's mm-hmm. He says how great it is. Maybe someday after this trilogy's over and I get caught up on my 50 books I have to do videos for. Maybe I'll put that in my ear holes.
I really hope
I like it because there's so much. Yeah, I like it because there's so much variety that it doesn't necessarily cater to one type of fan. There's something for everyone in the.
Exactly.
In the world. So you're not pigeonholed. Oh, you have to like this or you have to like that. Don't want to trash another sci-fi series, but to me, Star Trek was just so limited in its scope that everything just read the same. In it was like the same 3 or 4 species and. Star Wars to me was just always such expansive and had a little bit for everyone. Whatever you liked, you could participate in and discuss and read and just really get into.
Yes, just like that. It's a galaxy. How goddamn big is that? What all's going on there? Tell us so many Star Wars stories. What all's going on in the galaxy? We don't know, and it ain't for us to say. Just tell us Star Wars stories in that galaxy. So many Star Wars stories. What's all going on in the galaxy? Tell us that.
Hey, Rural Farm Boy.
Yes, sir.
Somebody wants to say hi to you.
Who does?
Oh boy, what's up?
Rez!
Mr.
It's Rez! Howdy, buddy! Yes! That's my buddy Rez! I see your smile, buddy. I'm smiling back at ya.
Rez, you're really quiet though.
All right, let me see if I can fix that. That any better?
Yeah, that's better.
There you go.
All right. So yeah,
DJ's chugging. I saw DJ chugging. Rez! My man! Yes!
Yeah.
Galactic Foxy 33, how are you doing today? Thanks for joining us. We're just
Welcome to Galaxy Foxy 33. Welcome.
we're just
Evil Eye Studios. Welcome. Charles Westcott, what you doing, buddy?
Get this off now!
no, somebody's in trouble.
Big trouble.
I'm thinking that's on DJ's end.
So, oh yeah, Anthony, I wanted to tell you.
What's that, Michael?
You said you were on my Fallen Order stream earlier and said you had to leave because there were spoilers. That was the beginning of the game. I played for 2 hours yesterday, and Rez can tell you, didn't have sound half the time. My controller wasn't working. I just basically just running around trying to figure out how to use half my keyboard and half my controller.
Okay.
And it wasn't going very well. And
That was yesterday?
that was yesterday. And then I figured out how to use my controller, so I got back on it. Well, no, not figured out. It took me 4 hours to get my controller to work because I had to download a program to run my controller, but it didn't tell me that I had to start. I don't know exactly what I did because I tried for 4 hours, and for the last half hour, I stopped checking to see if it was working. So then after the last half hour, a half hour worth of shit that I did, and then it worked. So I don't know what in that last half hour I did, but it was downloading the program, trying to load the game onto, not load the game onto it, but load the game onto the controller program, doing it different ways, all these different things that told me to do on YouTube that was all different.
Okay.
And so it started working. So when you got on there today, you got on right at the beginning. You missed me jumping a couple times. That was it.
Yeah, I pretty much missed you by an entire day because when I give it a look and listen to that showed up this afternoon for me. So
Yeah,
I was a day behind you.
You missed me a day of playing, but that first I played for 2 hours the first day. That first day that I played for 2 hours, I didn't do anything. I went my 2 hours of playtime last. If I was to play like when I played today, took me 1 minute, maybe 2, to go through.
Wow. Well, I went and skipped out. I went and skipped out because I don't have that game platform. I don't have a PS2 or well, I have a PS2. I don't have PlayStation 3 or 4, so I just want to be told that story in way of cutscenes, as kids say nowadays. So I got to go and look up that Jedi Fallen Order in a way of cut streams, and I want to be told the story that way. But I was watching you playing, and I was getting. I go and say I can't be spoiled, but when I was watching you play the game at that point where you was playing yesterday, yeah, I was feeling like maybe I might been spoiled a little bit. So I gotta go and give a look and watch this weekend for the cutscenes to that game because I want to know what that story is. But were you was in the game at that point when I watched?
That was the beginning.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe I'll. You know what? I haven't really looked at it. Maybe I can just run through the cutscenes.
no, I'll go and give that a look and listen later on YouTube because later on this weekend, some folks are going to go put up the story mode of that game, and that's how I'll be told that story. Same way that I watched the Battlefront 2 for Iden Versio and her story from that game. That's how I'm going to go and catch up with Jedi Fallen Order through the cutscenes of that story, if you take my meaning, what I
I
mean.
do. I do.
Yeah.
Well, shit. Maybe I'll just run through the cutscenes and record that and put that up on YouTube. So,
Yeah, buddy, do it.
why don't I do that? I'll do that when I hang up.
Charles, yes, the game is very good, Charles.
Yes. I mean, I'm only past the first stopping point, if that makes sense. Whatever you guys call it. So,
Yep.
like the game starts, and then the first place where it saves it for you, I've gotten to there. That was what I did today. It's just I haven't. When the Xbox came out in 1999 or 2000,
Somewhere around there.
that was the last video game system that I bought. And I haven't had anything since then. That's the last time I really had video games.
Wow, Michael. You're way ahead of me because the
So what are you
most
playing
recent.
on now?
My laptop.
Okay.
Fortunately, my dog, after years of abuse and knocking it off the table and bed and everything, my dog finally broke my laptop. So that's why I had to take the about a month off from recording, because the little tablet I had, I didn't know wouldn't work for streaming or whatever. I just figured, it'll be fine. No, it was way too slow. Wouldn't do anything. So I got a new gaming laptop and spent a little bit more on it than I should have, but not as much as I wanted to.
That's always the case.
But it was it's I don't know. I'd say it's mid-level, high mid-level, or low high level, whatever you want to put it. It's up there with one of the best graphics cards, and it's 17 and a half inches or whatever, and it's. I could have spent another $1,000 or two on it, but I didn't. So it's like I had something that popped up an ad while I was looking. As soon as you start looking for stuff, ads start popping up or whatever, and I was like, this one. I was like, this one's amazing. I want to take a look at it. And then I changed the specs to what I wanted, and it was $6,000. And I was like,
Wow. That's
I did that.
too much.
Yeah. But this one, luckily, I told Pappas what I was going to get, and he's like, "Why are you going to get that?" He's like, "You need it." He's like, "You don't need that. You don't need that." He's like, "And find one that's open box." And I was like, "But but everyone's told me I need this and I need this." He's like, "You don't need that." It's like, for my graphics card. If I don't know, Charlie, if you know anything about computers or not, but
Oh yeah.
okay. So it's like I have 2070 M or what 2070M, which is like 2070 RTX, GTX, whatever it is. I have a 2070, but it's not. But it's the one that's meant for a laptop, so it's not as good as the regular 2070 that you'd put in your PC. So I was gonna, it would have cost me another $1,000 to do that, but it's only I would have only gained 10. I would have only been 10% better graphics for that $1,000.
Right.
So it's like, okay, don't spend the extra you don't need to spend $4,000 on it to get a 2080 or 2070. That one's fine, and just things like that I didn't know. My girlfriend got pissed at me because I spent 3 days learning about graphics cards and GPUs. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Watching a video on it." She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, reading a magazine. "What are you reading an article?" And she's like, "Can you just stop and just buy something?" And I was like, "No." And it's like, I'm happy with what I got for the price I got it at. Especially I saved $1,000 because it was open box. So, I'm gonna.
So I wanted to go and ask, was Mr. Pappas a helping hand in helping you save money, Michael?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Good.
See, I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. Everyone's got this idea of Pappas being like, I don't know, like this shyster trying to like rip everybody off or whatever.
That's how he comes across. Yeah, you're right.
I've never. That's how they make him sound. I've never experienced that. I was at Celebration with him in line. I got him into the Hasbro line with me, even though you're not supposed to take a second person with you. You're supposed to go in by yourself. I got him to come in with me, and we were standing there at the checkout. And it's at the counter. You tell the person, "I want this and I want this," and they come over and I pay for it. And they said to him, then they say, "Okay, what do you want?" And he's like, "Nothing, I'm good." And I'm like, "Dude, why are you not getting, because they're all collectible things, or the stuff that, you buy it for $25 there and you sell it for $100 on eBay or whatever." And he said, he told the guy, he's like, "No, I'm good, I don't want anything." And we left it. I said, "What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, it's just not right." And I said, "What? What are you talking about?" He's like, "What if I bought something and somebody that was supposed to get something wasn't able to buy theirs then?" He's like, "That wouldn't be fair." So for all like the stories that everybody talks about and everything, and I think I told that story on when I was on the Scruffy podcast. But it's like so like he's an honest guy, but he'll make a buck off you if he can, but he's not going to rob you blind. But
no, but I think he goes and sinks himself. Because how did Corey, for making Star Wars, make 3 or 5 times much more money when Michael Pappas was kicking his own self in his own ass when Corey made 3 times 5 much more money than Michael Pappas could have ever imagined.
Oh, I was there for that because they were different things. They sold.
Yeah, you was there for that.
I was there for that, but they were selling different things. It's like saying how much can you sell an apple for and how much can you sell an orange for? Well, it depends what the market's willing to pay. So Pappas.
Corey was there for it, and Michael Pappas weren't.
Well, no, it's because Michael Pappas sold his sail barge. That's what it was. It was Corey went and spent $100 on pops. And sold them for $1,000.
I remember.
Pappas spent $500 on his sail barge and sold it for $1,200. So Corey made more money, made more percentage, had more of a markup, but there's no way that anyone was going to pay $5,000 for the sail barge. Otherwise, if someone was going to pay $5,000 for the sail barge, Pappas would have charged them $10,000. But
So is that like a game of chance? Are you saying?
like a game of chance, or if
It was a game of chance, and Corey won out.
If you open up a pack of baseball cards, and I open up a pack of baseball cards, and you pull out a card that's worth $100, and I pull out a card that's worth $50, you're going to make more money.
Yeah, sounds like a game of chance to me.
It's not like they went and both got Funko Pops. We both got mine, and one of them turned around and sold them for $50, and one turned around and sold them for $100. They're just two completely different things. But yeah, Pappas was pissed that he wasn't able to get the Funko Pops.
Yeah, sounds like a game of chance.
I was pissed too.
And
shit, if I would have got those Pops, I would have sold them. I would have got the Pops, the ugly blue ones. I would have sold them on the spot for as much money as I could. Corey was one of the first people. Corey was one of the first people to sell them. First people pulled on the market. He got top dollar for it. And then if there was one or two of them that I would have wanted, then I would have turned around and bought them off of somebody that was buying them there, and then still had my $900 profit and buy the one or two that I wanted for $100 and still have my $700 profit and get the one or two that I wanted. Because you're not going to be able to sell a set like that while they're missing. But
no, Corey's also a sweetheart. Might I also say he's a sweetheart. He's a good boy.
Corey's a nice kid.
Corey. Yes, he is.
I hung out with him for not much. I mean, I can't say like that him and I are friends or whatever, but we were.
Also, wanted to give him a quick shout out if he remembers what this is. Corey, it's pizza time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure anybody that listens to that, it's pizza time.
That was a ways back, but
yep.
Corey, it's pizza time, buddy. I hope he hears.
Hey guys, I gotta head out. Appreciate the time.
Okay, Charlie.
I'll see you next week.
DJ, buddy, may the force be with you.
Yeah, I'll spread the word. We're probably pretty much done. I got to open up some. I don't want to make this go too long. I don't know.
No, you're good, buddy.
I got to open up some gifts and stuff. Going back to the chat, I was neglecting it kinda. Which Han Solo Funko Pop did you get? Foxy 33.
Ooh. Speak up, Foxy. DJ wants to know what you got.
No, that was me. DJ left.
Oh, DJ, may the force be with you, buddy.
He said goodbye, brother.
Find me, Michael, in that Twitterverse, my friend.
He knows. Yeah, I forget how I found him or how he found me.
Maybe through me, because I was tagging some friends. I want all my friends together. I can.
He started following me, or I started following him. I don't know. Something happened in the last week or two. I know I got a couple of people. It could have been the.
I think I went and tagged him to come join the live chat because I want so many of our Star Wars friends. I was going to go and tag Miss Alice from Force Toast to come join, but she's off and away with Miss Laura doing something with some live chat show for Schmodown this evening.
They are doing I can't talk right now. She is doing the Schmodown versus she is Laura's manager trying to take the crown away from Alex Damon.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you right now, When I first got into this fandom and I started watching it,
Mm-hmm.
I got the first Schmodown I watched that he was in that he didn't win. What's his name won? I got every question right, and it's just one of those things. It's the luck of the draw. You know, I could watch like the last one that they had. I missed half of the questions, so I'm in no way someone that should be on the Schmodown for to be a viable option, to be a threat. But you know what? If I would have been on the Schmodown that one time, that's all it takes is that one time, and that could be for pretty much anybody.
Yeah, you and me both. I kind of follow along with the questions that's asked and kind of try to keep track with what I'm right and what I'm wrong with. But this past Schmodown, listening to who Miss Laura competed with, and I can't remember that fella's name.
I don't remember his name either.
No, but she done dusted that fella. She put him way behind. And I can still remember I missed 2 or 3 or maybe 4 questions. But yeah, coming up, she's going to go face to face with Alex from Star Explained.
Well, that's the other thing too. When I first started, 2 years ago, almost in this part of the fandom, of I call it the social media part of the fandom. I didn't have social media or didn't do anything with social media, so I was always watching the movies or doing something. So I probably had a better knowledge of things at the time, where I still know what they are now, but I don't have the recall or the speed to do it. Okay, so
oh, what's this stupid thing doing?
So what I think it's getting to that point. It's opening time. So what do we want to open? Do we want to open?
Oh, busting open boxes.
Okay,
let's
boxes
bust open some boxes. Well, let Michael bust open some boxes.
What boxes do we want?
What do you got?
All right, so those are books. We're going to do a big book smorgasbord.
Do some books. Let's put them on a smorgasbord. Let's do that.
Because all right, so I have, right now I'm looking at my secret hiding spot. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 books.
Wow.
There might be a couple more books in there. And then I have some Black Series and Funko Pops mixed in with there. And then behind the couch, we'll see. I don't know what's behind the couch.
Always remember, if you want to do a giveaway, count me out. I want to give other listeners, watchers, a chance to win. Not
right,
for me.
So,
I want to give them folks a chance to win.
So it's kind of fitting that we started off the day talking about books and what we have for used books and stuff, because I have some of those that I just grabbed. So anybody that wasn't here, This was the first book I opened, coming off of what the hell? What live stream were we on earlier, people? Rebel Scum podcast, and they were talking about that book. And I said that I knew I had the book, and then I couldn't find it. And I went into my secret hiding spot of books, and I knew it was an Amazon book. I knew about the size. I knew it was new, so I was able to find it easily. And I popped it open, and there it was. And then I opened up. That was the first thing I did, was open up that book. But okay.
Yeah, you just showed the ultimate visual guide.
Yep. So now we have another book here. It's not. It's a big envelope, but it's not that big.
So what's the next book? What are we gonna see?
Okay. This is Star Wars
Envelope.
Lightsabers.
Michael's ripping it open.
The guide
Is that watch?
to weapons of the Force.
Wait, weapons of the Force? Oh, lightsabers. Whoa.
And it starts with an elegant weapon, which is the first thing we ever learn about them. Goes on to anatomy of a lightsaber.
Civilized time.
Talks about building the lightsaber. I don't know if you remember, but Obi-Wan gets in trouble from Qui-Gon about losing his lightsaber, the same that Anakin does all the time, and losing his lightsaber. And gives you a myth. Only a Jedi or Sith can wield a lightsaber.
Well, that's a good thing, because I used to be a stormtrooper, so lightsabers, for me, in my opinion, got no place for me. Give me a blaster any time of day.
That's a myth, because anyone
could
pick up a lightsaber and use it, but lightsabers are extremely difficult to wield, and then it keeps going on about it. But yeah, so this is pretty cool. Obi-Wan's lightsaber, Darth Maul's lightsaber. This folds out into a full size of the lightsaber. Yeah, so this is it goes and it lists everybody's lightsaber, what they're made out of, what color they are, General Grievous. Yeah, so Kylo Ren, all the way down to, I don't know, techniques and everything of lightsabers. So we got some pull-out things in there, some posters and whatnot. See, I would keep this book whole, and if I wanted to take the poster out, buy another book to put the poster up with. But that's just me. Oh, okay, Charles. You got that book too? I'll see. I was busy running around. People started talking. You want me to open some Black Series? Well, there is a box. I'm doing a lot of opening right now because I just got to get stuff to open. And what I think I'm going to do is I talked about this last week. Oh, I hope you guys didn't see my address. If you did, please don't come kill me or whatever. I've already had death.
Nobody's going to come and kill you, so.
Not that's in here. I've already had death threats.
No.
not off
put that
anybody in
down.
here. You know what I'm talking about, Anthony. It's all good.
Yes.
So,
We're going to go and put that down and walk away from it right now. We're going to go and put that down and walk away from it right now.
So here we go. Book number 2. Oh, my puppy just woke up. Hi.
Oh. Little girl?
16-year-old hound dog girl, yeah.
Yeah. Morning, little girl.
You've seen her before.
Yup.
She's getting, I've talked about it before. She's getting there. She's she can still walk around and everything. She's just having, problems that people get when they get old with, whatever.
As folks do. And little doggies too. As folks do. All good.
So here's our second book.
What might the second book be? What might the second book be?
Star Wars, Jedi vs. Sith, the essential guide to the Force.
Whoa! Let's see what this is.
Well, it starts off. I'm not sure what the hell that is. That kind of looks like a Caminoan, or whatever the hell that is. If you can
Caminoan. I'm really good at pronunciation.
Jedi Master Yarrow Poof.
Yep. What about him?
That's who that is. And then we have an introduction.
Okay.
I'm having problems with the pictures here. I can't. Looks like we have.
Not seeing any photographs on my end, but
No, we go into a timeline of everything. 896 BBY, the birth of Yoda.
Whoa! Are we tripping into kind of Mandalorian story time? A little bit, maybe? Not sort of kind of? No. Scratch that. That has to do with that little youngin and Anakin Skywalker. So no, scratch that.
And then we just have
didn't ever say nothing there. So carry on.
The history of holocrons and holochronicles.
Whoa. Also, Holochronicles is a Star Wars podcast for listeners. If you're listening.
Telekinesis, force camouflage, animals, the dark side. I just kind of flipped through this really quick.
Okay, go quick. Flip through it quick. We're good.
This is actually more of a long reading book than like a lot of the visual guides. You can do a visual guide in an afternoon or a couple hours. But this one is definitely it's all words.
Yeah, this one sounds pretty deep and wide. Wow.
This one too though was from a bookstore or a used bookstore, used books. Trying to see when it was. Okay, so this is 2007. The copyright on it. So this book is not canon. But a lot of the stuff in there, if I was going to talk to you about the Sith and the Jedi, it talks. There's a spot in here about the 5 forms or the 7 forms of lightsaber combat, which is talked about a lot more in like Clone Wars or Rebels, which is what I've been doing. That's why I haven't been. That's why my playlists have been shorter, because. Here's the next one. My playlists have been shorter because I have been. Yesterday, I spent a couple hours on the computer, and then I spent some time.
Doing what?
I watched the first season of Rebels yesterday. I had the day off.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'm a huge football fan. It's just I can't get. I'm a Bills fan. I can't get the Bills games at my house. And going to a bar by yourself when you don't drink isn't a lot of fun. And you have to go to the right. Like I have a bar I could go to where I know everybody. I've never had a drink in that bar, but I know people because I have friends that go there all the time, or whatever it is. But they don't have the games. They don't have like the NFL packages and stuff. So if they're gonna have the game on, I could watch it at my house too. But all right, so here we go. The Illustrated Star Wars Universe. Okay, this is another book. Let's
Pardon me.
So it was from Borders in 1995. It was $17.95.
Oh, holy cow!
I bought it.
Wow.
I bought it. I'm trying to see the date on here. I bought it on 7/27/18. So it's been sitting around for over a year, unopened.
Wow.
And I paid $2.34 for it. That is how, and yeah, it was the shipping and handling was $3.99. So it was more expensive to ship it. It was almost twice as much to ship it than it was to buy the book.
Still, very well worth your money. Holy cow, Michael! Very well worth your money. Wow.
So I mean, this is just the first picture we got of some. I don't even know. I didn't really even look at it. Could be the Death Star, some kind of space station.
You had me tripped up at Borders, the bookstore, because they don't exist no more.
Okay, so
wow.
This is a lot of. You know whose art this is, Anthony?
What?
Can you see it yet? I don't know what you're watching. I don't know if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on StreamYard. Ralph McCurry's art.
Just switched over to StreamYard. So show me. Oh, I see Ralph McCoy art. What is that?
This is that book. This is the Cantina Scene, the Illustrated Universe.
Yes.
So it's Ralph McCoy art, and you can see in the back. This was actually, I'm pretty sure. Well,
yeah, I know. I know that art.
You can see in the back there. There's C-3PO and R2-D2.
Mm-hmm.
And then that is. I'm pretty sure Luke Skywalker and Han Solo was supposed to be an alien, if I remember correctly.
Han Solo was supposed to be an alien, not Luke. Luke was called Luke Starkiller.
Starkiller.
Yes. Han was kind of reminiscent of who we now know as Zeb Relios, sort of, kind
No,
of.
that's
But he was also Chewbacca. Yes.
no, that was Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Chewbacca was what we know as Zeb from
Rebels.
Rebels, but
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Han Solo was an alien also. But he
Yes,
was
he
more.
was. Yes,
But
he was.
I'm pretty sure that's who's in this picture here, as the original artwork of what Han Solo was thought of as to be.
Exactly.
But I could be wrong on that. You know, I'm not.
No, you're on point. You're good.
So this first section's all Tatooine, and then we have Jabba's palace on there. Coruscant. You know, just
That's a hell of a book.
some more Coruscant pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Glad I found that. I'm really glad I found this book. Then it goes on to Dagobah, Hoth.
Charles and Mr. Rez still here in the live chat. Yes, Bella. Yes, fellas. Yeah, really gorgeous art. Agrees with both of you. Ain't that something?
You know, there's Cloud City.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that from. Oh, what was it? The Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
Oh, what was the book? What was the book called? Went behind the scenes. It was called. Oh, geez. I ain't got a name for it. Back was when I was a teenager.
Well,
I remember seeing that art back then.
Here's a place that everyone knows.
Okay.
And probably almost no one has ever seen.
What's that?
This right here.
That's Alderaan. That's what I take that as. Am I seeing Alderaan?
That was Alderaan.
Oh, holy force! Whoa! Mr. Rez, Charles Westcott, you seen the same? I know Charles was in a little bit round about my age range. Hey, Rez.
And he's gone again. I don't know what
happened. I know Rez is about my age range too. Wow. Yeah, I recognize that Alderaan pretty quick. I hope them did too.
How did you know that was Alderaan?
From seeing so many of nearly 40 years worth of concept art. Okay. I've been paying attention to many things.
I would have never known that.
Hey, T, did you catch that? Did you see what Michael went and showed from that concept art for Alderaan?
Did you see the picture that I
recognize?
Yeah.
Yes, you saw the picture. Yes, you recognized it, or both.
No, I wouldn't have recognized Alderaan from that picture.
Oh, wow.
That's an awesome picture.
Anthony Charles said you're a Jedi of Star Wars lore. Okay, so one more book.
Okay, here we go. What do you got?
I don't know. I can't. Somebody didn't want me to open this.
Take your time. Slow down. Take your time.
I can't get it open.
Oh, here we go.
Well, Anthony, remember I was telling you the other day, or I started
Yes,
to tell
sir.
you about, I'm not going to be able to rebel as much at work, right? Just telling you a little bit today, too, coming
Mm-hmm.
up soon,
Mm-hmm.
because you've heard of double secret probation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there might be a double secret promotion going on.
For you?
I can't say it would be for me because then it wouldn't be a double secret promotion, but it might be somebody getting promoted and they're skipping one promotion to go above a promotion. So they're skipping ahead two spots. Because it was what I was offered when I started there, and I didn't want it because of school, and didn't want the responsibility and whatever BS. And then it's just, had some problems with school, and they messed up my financial aid and said that I owe money from, 2 years ago, so I can't go back until I pay them $3,000 for school, and blah blah whatever. And
Michael,
at the same time that was going on, well, maybe I should stop buying fucking Black Series and Funko Pops and have a little bit more money, but and all these goddamn books. But my boss's boss was like, hey, have you ever thought? And I was like, all right, sure, let's do it. And I had my evaluation come up, and he's like, okay, well, we talked, and this is what we want to do. And I was like, okay, you bump me up? He's like, no, we want to move it 2 places. And I said, all right, that's an extra $4 or $5 an hour. I can handle that. That I can work less, make the same, and make more videos. Oh shit!
One more book.
No, I'll just work. I'll just work more, make more, and have more money to spend on shit that I don't need. It's gonna get me divorced.
And you ain't even married yet. So what are you talking about? I've been married twice. So I'll tell you a thing about or two about being married.
Are we ready for the next book?
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
This is it.
Back it up some. Too close. A little bit more.
There you go. Wow.
What the force is that? I recognize the artwork, but I don't know what it's from.
Force is in the title. Art is in the title.
Well, yeah, TFA. Holy force. Because I ain't going to swear on here now. I sweared enough.
So
that's a nice book.
It's the Art of the Force Awakens.
Oh, jeez.
There's no receipt in there, so I can't tell Anthony how much I paid for it. But it was used.
I don't want to know.
Well, you were impressed with my other one.
Yeah, I was.
It was used, so.
Remember, you don't got just one Anthony here. You got 2.
Well, I always call him Rez or Mr. Rez, and you're either Anthony or Earl Farm Boy. So.
Yeah, there's both of us.
I mean, yeah. So there's.
Whoa. I'm feeling like I gotta go hunt that book up to get in my library. Wow. Because that's one I ain't got in my collection. Wow.
Well, it breaks it down too. I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah, I can see it.
It tells you the date for the art, So that picture was from April of 2013.
Mm-hmm.
17.
See now, that's how long. That's how back long they've been planning these stories. So imagine, just take a minute and imagine for the Mandalorian, how back long they've been planning these stories. It's been back a ways. If you take my meaning what I'm saying.
I do. Oh,
Yeah.
it's planned out for a while. So here's one that's really interesting. That is Anakin, light side and dark side, as concept art for
I was gonna go and say from
Anakin. It's Anakin Vader Ghost. If we see Anakin Skywalker, because he flows back and forth between Darth Vader and Anakin, let's see him as a character with a light and dark side. The reason Luke is whole new entity is because of the first to acknowledge his own dark side that was separate from him. So that's would be like if they do have, like, what if they use that concept art from 6 years ago or 7 years ago in the film, because they have Anakin coming back as the Force Ghost, but the Emperor decides to, with whatever Sith powers that he has that we don't know about yet, because it's still all, who knows, Anthony?
somebody knows. Somebody knows.
But we don't know.
No, we don't, but somebody inside does. I was going to go and say that was concept art from TFA as the Jedi Killer, who we now know as, some folks say, Kylo Ren, also known as Ben Solo. I thought that's what I saw, but I was wrong, and that's good. We're good.
A lot of the pictures are on here are really well done sketch art. Looking like you could tell someone just kind of like. Does that make sense? Like really well done sketch art, like.
Yeah, really well done.
Like kind of fuzzy, and the details not in there. The lines aren't crisp and clean, is what I mean by that. But then you get something like this, where.
But you said back as far as 2013. That what you said?
You have a picture like that. That's a drawing. That's or a computer. That's not a photograph.
No.
Which is amazing that it's. But there's some of these pictures are,
So you say this is back as far as 2013, right?
That was. I don't know if it goes back any further. But that first picture was from 2013.
So that right there tells us how far back they've been planning all of these Star Wars stories.
2012.
Yeah, starting with that one right there.
October 31st, 2012. Halloween, the day after Disney's acquisition of Lucasfilm is publicly announced. New Star Wars trilogy production design, Doug Chang.
Yeah.
Reaches out for episode 7. So the day after they started the day that Disney bought it.
October
the day after,
30th.
So October 31st, 2012 is when this trilogy was planned.
Yeah. They've been plotting out this story since way back then. So many, some I won't say so many. I'll say some folks thinks they don't have a plan to tell us the story. They've had this planned out from back then, October 30th, and even previous to that. No, they know what the story's going to be, and coming up. Oh, where are we at now?
2019.
No, 23, 22 days. No, what's today? 18th. No, we're less than 20 days, a little bit more than 20 days, for we get to be told the end. And yes, the end of the story's coming. Folks don't believe it, but the end of this Skywalker story going to be told in 22 days. And you can go and believe that right there and now. Every story's got two things. It's got a beginning and it's got an ending. And
We're not starting this right now because we're not going to agree on this. So Disney can say whatever they want. Lucasfilm can say whatever they want, but there's still going to be we're not. This isn't the last of the Skywalkers. It might be the last of Luke and Leia and Vader and the Emperor that we hear about, but that doesn't mean that there's not going to be down the line Episode 10.
There can't be. There can't. I disagree. In my humble opinion, because there can't be an episode 10 because every story's got an end, and there can't be an episode 10 because the story's done.
Okay, so how many times
a next new story?
How many times has the story already ended? It ended in 83. The story ended in 2005. The story's ended in 2019. And guess what? It's going to end again in 2032.
That becomes a new story.
There's going to be more. There's going to be more books. There's going to be more middle filled in that we didn't have. The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian's part of the story because it deals with the Empire. When does it take place? Ask anybody when it takes place. And what do they say? 5 years after Jedi. Okay, so that's the middle of the story. It's more of the story coming out. But anyways.
Well, maybe we'll agree to humbly disagree.
There's no humble about it. We argue about this every time. Oh, we'll stay friends about it. Sure, no problem. Okay, now
what's in the box? What's in the box?
What's in the box? What's in the box? It's a box from Amazon. I really wish Amazon put dates on their delivery things, or if I knew how to discern what their dates were.
If they only surely would.
Huh.
What's in the box, Michael? What's in the box? I want to see what's in the box. What's in the box? It's a pop.
It is a pop.
What is it? Show us,
small pop.
please.
Nice.
Oh my
BB9E.
Wow.
My daughters would go nuts for that.
And this is what it. Who else it's with?
My girls would go so nuts for that.
So. It's just so small compared to the other ones.
As BB-8 units are, or BB units are, they're small.
Okay.
I just showed both of my girls the remote control Dio at our nearby mall. That toy, and they were just over the moon just to see it. Never mind, we didn't never purchase it, but when I showed them that $60 Dio
Yep.
yeah.
All right, last one of the evening. We have a box.
What's in the box, Michael?
What's in the box?
More pop.
What's in the box?
box?
I mean, it might not look like Brad Pitt or sound like him, but you know.
No, you're good.
Anthony, you know, Royal Farm Boy. So you guys don't get confused. You know what movie that's from? It's from Seven. When his
I ain't never seen that.
That's a good one. You gotta check that one out one day.
Oh, I forgot about this.
That's on
Sounds
me.
good.
It's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be.
So what's it gonna be?
What is it?
It is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive.
San Diego Comic Con exclusive. What? Get the force out of here!
That's nice. I know exactly what that is. I don't even need you to zoom in.
Get the force out of here!
Nice.
Yeah. Don't go too close up. I can see it, Michael.
Yeah,
Get the force out of here.
That was
Whoa. And you got it for yourself in your own apartment. Wow.
That was when Hasbro Pulse put up that and the Boba Fett and the exclusive San Diego Comic-Con Sith Trooper that everyone was pissed off about because no one could buy them, and you've heard me rant about it and talk about how they should have done things.
You and so many others. Yep.
I was pissed off. The only reason I got that was because on the first day, I couldn't buy anything, and that one was still for sale, and I said, well, shit. And then I bought it. So that's where that was.
On Force Pulse?
Hasbro Pulse.
Oh, that one. Shows what I know. Wow.
It's pretty cool.
Wow.
All right. Well, we did a good job.
Yes, sir.
And we didn't even make a dent in anything. Everything I opened was... So my secret hiding spot, which my girlfriend still hasn't found yet, and I don't know how.
That's on you, buddy.
I have one of the couches that folds out to a bed, but it's not a pull-out couch. The back folds down, so it's like one big. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I had one of them once. I know what you're talking about.
And then underneath the couch is where you can put blankets and pillows and everything. We don't put anything down there, so I've been slowly filling it up and filling it up. It's full now, and I can't put anything else down there, so I need to open up stuff to... that's why I got to open up books, so that I can get rid of the books. Well, not get rid of the books, but put the books up and put the books away. Or figure out what to do with them. So I have more space to hide stuff down there. Because I don't really have... I don't have room to put Black Series and Funkos unless I get another something.
Yeah. I've been where you once. I've been where you are now. Once, many years ago, Michael.
And there was a bunch of some new Black Series came out. But it's like I pre-ordered some of it off Hasbro Pulse, but it's already showing up in the stores, or it's been up at the stores. But Hasbro Pulse or Hasbro doesn't have it out yet, so it's like, maybe that's good. So I got time to open up some other stuff instead of going to GameStop and getting it now. I can wait until December 15th, so I have another couple episodes another couple days to open stuff up for.
Boy. Yeah, I've been where you. I've been once where you are now, Michael. I've been there 20 years ago, and I don't envy you where you are now.
Oh, I mean,
Because
if I
was
had more
there.
room, it wouldn't be a
Yeah.
problem. But it's the fact that, a New York City apartment, I don't have, one of those huge apartments in Friends, that is a $20 million apartment or whatever. I got a huge bedroom. I mean, I'm sitting on my couch that's in my bedroom. I have a king size bed and a computer desk and a dresser and another dresser, and that's over there. And then over next to me, I still have like another dresser and closets and stuff like that. So I have a huge bedroom. I have a big living room that's probably, I don't know, 10 feet by 15 feet or whatever it is, and a kitchen, and then another bedroom. I just, I mean, I have a lot of room. I just don't have.
Yeah,
Oh
buddy,
yeah, like
I got you, but I was where you are now 20 years ago down here in a really small spot in rural western Pennsylvania. And what you're doing, having to put up with right now, what you're telling me, yeah, I done that 20 years ago down here in a small space in rural western Pennsylvania. I feel you. I
oh,
get you.
it's
And
not
I
it's not putting up with. It's just the fact that, I still have um 2 Smuggler Bounty boxes in my closet, and I have a Smuggler's Bounty box in a box that I know what it is that I forgot I was going to open today. That's over there. So I mean, that's just I just got a bunch of stuff that I need to
yeah, I got you, but
reorganize.
I was where you are now 20 years ago with that little bit of space. I had to put up with that then, but you're having to put up with it here and now. I already been where you are now. So you're not telling me about nothing then that I already haven't put up with, if you take my meaning.
I mean, I might have to, get this. I mean, not me personally, but whoever might be getting this promotion, and go down and look. There's garages attached to one of the apartment buildings down on the corner that most people put their cars in. They're big enough for a car, a little bit more. And then they come up every now and then for rent. I might need to go down there and get one just so I can put stuff in there.
Wow.
Well, yeah, because like I don't know. I showed you that picture of my bookcase, which isn't organized, but it's like on my top shelf going back. It's all San Diego Comic-Con or New York Comic-Con exclusives, Black Series stuff, and you can't even see it because they're 3 deep. It's like the speeder bike, or Enfys Nest scooter or bike, whatever that is. You can't even see any of that stuff that's there because everything's 3 and 4 deep. So it's not even like it's being displayed. It's just there to It's just there because I don't have anywhere to display it yet. And then, so it doesn't really, it wouldn't really matter if I threw it in a couple bins and put it outside in storage.
Yep.
But
Emphasis rises Sweet Bike.
Swoop Bike, that's right.
Yep. Glad
Charles
to
said
be a
Rancho.
helping hand.
Charles said Rancho Obi Mike.
Good on you, Charles.
And see, it's like, I try and go to, I'm like, I don't have that much stuff. And then I go and compare it to somebody like, the guys on the Bad Motivators. Where Luke Cruiser's on there and he's on Holocrons because he's got 200 pops, Star Wars pops. Or, Eric Struthers, if you ever see his stuff, he's got all the Black Series, a couple of them. Usually at least a couple of them because one's to open, one's to store. Then his kids have some, and then he's just been collecting a lot longer than I have. I should put it that way because I think that's the only reason. But yeah, I outdid him. I outdid him for Force Friday. We haven't even gotten to open up that stuff yet. I still got to figure out what I'm going to do with that case of Funko Pops that I have. It's every Funko that came out on Force Friday for the movie, The Mandalorian, and the video game. Which the Mandalorian and the video game, it's only like 6 or 8, I think. But the other 20 or 25 are from that. Those I'll probably be donating. I don't know. I'll figure something out because I don't have room for them. But the Black Series I'm going to definitely keep because I don't collect Funko Pops, so it's not a big deal if I get rid of them.
It's a lot of Funko Pops you got, man.
Yeah. For a non-collector, that's a lot.
That's what I mean. I have zero Pops.
What? All right. I got to clean some of this stuff up, hide some evidence. All right, fellas. Well, thanks for hanging out with me and chatting with me.
Thank you. My humble thank you for having me and including me. And Rez, glad for you to be along.
Yeah, glad to be here.
And Charles, thanks for stopping by. Anytime you want to pop on here, you just let me know and I'll send you the code. It changes every time, so yeah, that's about it. But you can chat with us if you want to. You can be like Anthony and not have a picture.
Yeah, what's up with that? I never got that answer.
It depends which computer he's using.
Got it.
It does.
Got it. Right on.
Hope in the future that we have so many more friends come join in right here and talk Star Wars with us. Please do.
Please
Chris
do.
King, thank you very much for stopping by. I didn't know you were still here.
Yeah, I can't see that chat either. Keeps messing up my phone or backing out of this when I do it.
Yeah, that's what we were trying to. I don't know.
Cool. It worked. Good times.
All right, everyone.
Always good times. Looking forward to next Monday.
Yep. Next Monday, 8:30. And
tag so many more friends to please come ask and join in. And
I'll be doing
so many more of us here.
Anthony, you need to go and watch.
What do I need you go and watch?
On my channel with me and Mike, our review.
Yes, sir.
It was just,
I need to put that in my playlist.
and then I'll have a new one coming out Thursday.
This coming Thursday?
Yep, for number 2. We still haven't done number 2 yet, so
Chapter 2.
chapter 2. If
Okay.
all goes well, we got to fit into our schedule. He records Rogue One tomorrow, and then we're supposed to do something Wednesday, but he works during the day, I work at night, so we either got to do it in the morning or do it at night. So just as long as I can get out of work early and do everything, I'll have it. We're gonna record it on Wednesday night, Thursday morning, like midnight, 1:00 in the morning when I get out of work, and then I'll post it up. I'll post it up then, and then we'll have it for Friday, and then hopefully we can get one done over the weekend, and we'll see what happens. And like we were talking, if we have to do one that covers 2 weeks or 2 chapters, we do one that covers 2 chapters. It's just I had a lot of people tell me how much fun it was and how much they like listening to it. So,
well, you know what I'm gonna go and say? I got a spot for that in my playlist.
all right.
Yes, sir. I will pry a spot for that in my playlist. I'll find a spot for that in my playlist. I will. Surely will.
Well, all right. All right, Anthony.
Yes, sir.
Boy. I will talk to you, and as you say in that Twitterverse, you have a good night.
Yes, sir. Call upon me anytime.
Thanks for chatting with me.
Thank you for having me. I'm humble. May the force be with you.
I said good day. May the force be with you.